Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force, and in today's video, we're here to talk about Scorpion. He is going to be released later on today, and I want to ask the question of, or answer the question, I suppose, by the end of the video, of whether or not you should be coring for Scorpion. Now, I do want to say that you should not be doing it today. There is a reason for that, and that is the leaderboard event for Knull that's going to be coming later on because there is going to be a spending core function. So I said I was going to do a public service announcement about that. So it's not really about should you do it today, don't do it today. It's more about should you be doing it, let's say this weekend, or what reason would there be to unlock him early. We're going to be talking about all things about Scorpion and a little bit about Battle World in the start of the video. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Now, I did say that I wanted to talk about Battle World very quickly, because the blog post mentioned 200 shards of Knull. In fact, it's actually 300 shards of Knull. So in the rewards section, and this is just the entire weekly Battle World rewards at the very, very end, based on your victory points. You can see here that the 200 shards that they talked about, this is probably what they mentioned in the blog post, I guess. But the way that they had stated it, suggested it was like 200 total, but now it's actually 300 total because you get all of this stuff, right? The antimatter scaling up to 28 million victory points here for 200 shards. This is maxed out for me, but for people who are maybe within 300, this might be good for you. And then if you go into the abyss, I click the preview button, I guess here, and this is all the same stuff. Wave 1, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and then you get to zone 4 for the Knull fight, right? And it's still there, which is, I believe, what it was before, and you get an additional 100 shards here. So it's up to 300 shards. Now, obviously, that's going to be based on your own alliance's progress, what difficulty you're running, that kind of thing as well. This is 100 shards at D5, and I think to get the other 200, you probably need to be running D5 as well. So this basically tells me that this is, in fact, the last final run of Knull in Battle World 1. As you guys, if you've been following the channel here, then you would know that Sentry is Battle World 2, which is already in the game files. A lot of things to do with Battle World 2 and Sentry is in the game files. There's still more to come. Obviously, get a clearer picture of exactly what's going to happen, and I think that we're waiting on them to really give us a little bit more detail on that, and whether or not my speculation comes true about Onslaught being the headliner for the Battle World 2 team. Right, and as far as the best teams to use for Battle World, still going to be for Battle World 1. Sorry, for the Knull fight is still going to be Astral for now. We'll see if they end up becoming a dead team though, come Battle World 2, or whether or not they have any use there. So that's Battle World stuff. Now let's talk about Scorpion. Now before we get into the deep dive with Scorpion, I do want to kind of take a look at his stats. Let's jump on over to the full screen just so we can get a clearer clearer visual here. And so I want to zoom in a touch. And then I want to organize by health, which I did, and we'll find Scorpion. Where is he in the health category? He is 51 in health, but he's tied with characters like Human Torch, Falcon Joaquin, Elektra, Shocker, thing. So, you know, it's okay, but it's nothing amazing. His damage stat, where is that? Pretty good, actually. Top 10. Here, tied with also some of the reworks to Shocker, Black Widow, Vulture, Yellow Jacket, and then up a bit, Omega Red Phoenix Force. So a pretty high damage stat here. I can't believe Domino is that high, really? Kind of shocking. Anyways, the damage stat would be relevant because of the bleeds that he puts out. And bleed damage often is relevant to how high your damage stat is. The armor for Scorpion is 24, so that's not bad. But similar to some of the other recent new characters, Silver Sable, Hitmonkey, Thing, Dom, they all kind of scale up in the same kind of range here. So top 25 or so. Focus, he does have a lot of debuffs, so this is kind of important. 21 for focus, tied with characters like, well, tied with like Taskmaster, Elektra, Black Widow, and close to Storm, Emma Frost, X-Men. Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, blah, 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 blah. Resistance, where is he sitting at? 55, so it's okay, right? I guess that's kind of where the rework range seems to be these days. Oh, wait, sorry, over here on this column, the 103,000. It's okay. His speed is kind of slow, though. And now, I'm not an expert on Sinister Six or Infestation, but, you know, 107 is really slow. He's like as slow as Sentinel. So I want to take a look at this in regards to his kit, right? Because this is kind of important. So Scorpion is a villain, city tech, brawler, Spider-Verse, Sinister Six, a lot of tags here, right? And before we go into the kit, I do want to make people aware that as far as what his unique is, it is Crimson Experimental Formula. So, you probably would. I have quite a few of these, so you probably would too. I don't know what recent characters. There hasn't been really any recent characters to upgrade with that, so I think normally that's fine. But his actual kit. Now he has a really fun kit, and I think he's going to be really good obviously in raids, but in a more Sinister Six hybrid. I think I'm not a big fan of Infestation, the reworks, because as far as I'm aware, and what I've been hearing in Discord and DMs, is that Infestation can still be beat by like a Sinister Six combo with Vulture or with Lizard, and you can still counter these guys. And so I don't think Scorpion is adding anything to Infestation to make it not counterable with the same stuff, because Scorpion's pretty slow, and that was the downside of it. So I think he'll be really good in raids and with the Sinister Six, maybe in Crucible and things like this. Not so sure the jury's out for Infestation. His kit's fun, though. I mean, he chains to 2 adjacent targets for 280% piercing, spreads 3 negative effects. This kind of reminds me of Carnage a little bit. From the primary target to secondary targets. His I was going to say AT. This is Raid Shadow Legends. His special Acid Bath, 3 energy. That's pretty low, right? Primary and adjacent targets. So he's definitely going to be a candidate for Raider here. Applying 3 bleeds. That's a lot of bleeds. We'll talk about it. We'll see his passive does even more bleeds. Cooldown of 5 here. Spray and Pray is ultimate. If its character has 2 Insidious 6, or the full Infestation team, reduced duration of Safeguard by 2 on all enemies. Reduced duration of all positive effects by 2 on all enemies with bleed. Now, what I like about this is that it happens before any damage is done. Attack all enemies for 300% piercing and apply 3 bleed for 2 turns. And he does take advantage of these bleeds as well. If there's 2 Insanity 6 allies, this attack cannot be blocked, right? So this is basically almost guaranteed to land, assuming he makes the focus check. Toxic Tech is his passive here. On turn, apply 2 bleed. A bleed for 2 turns, to all enemies. So basically, when he takes his turn, before he does any of this other stuff, there's going to be bleed already out, right? Like this kind of stuff. All enemies with bleed. Like the bleed should already be there, unless they have on-spawn immunity, I guess. When an enemy with any negative effects is attacked, apply bleed to a random enemy. If he has 2 Insanity 6, 2 and this is important, and 2. So this will be like for raids mostly, but this could happen in Crucible as well. Or maybe if you decide to use them elsewhere in raids. Apply bleed to an additional 2 random enemies. When an enemy takes damage from bleed, reduce the duration of deflect, defense up, and death proof by 2 on that character, and apply bleed for 2 turns. So, I mean, he's really like shredding a lot of buffs, whether it's this stuff or whether it's the special, the ultimate here that reduces the duration of Safeguard. Like, he's really shredding buffs. And he lowers the armor and damage by 10% for all enemies with bleed is really nice. If this character has 2 Insanity 6 allies and 2 other Sinister 6 allies, or 4 Infestation on war defense, right? This character and all allies cannot have their damage reduced except by offense down. Now, I don't know who really reduces damage. I mean, I guess another Scorpion, right? But in general, I'm not sure what this text is mainly aimed at. So that's Scorpion, but there's just nothing in here that makes him faster or will make him counter some of the typical counters for Infestation as a whole, and that's where I'm a little bit concerned, right? I'm going to go into the Infestation. Let's swap my scene really quick here. So, as far as Infestation goes, I do feel that this is a trap team build. Definitely the reworks, in my opinion. Like, some people will say, like, Black Widow's fast, there's going to be some value in there. These are super niche, like, PvP instances where, like, maybe there's going to be some value. But for 99% of the player base, this is an absolute trap team. Not to mention it's a war defense team, which means it's going to be super boring. You won't be playing it, right? Where this will win will be people who don't know what the counters are to Infestation. The people who walk into it and get their ass kicked because they thought that they could use something else. So you might get these like niche wins on war defense, but by and large, I don't think Scorpion is adding anything that's going to change that counter. And you can use Sinister 6, especially since Vulture has been buffed. You could probably throw Shocker in there as well. But characters like Vulture and characters like Lizard are going to make it very easy to counter Spider-Man big time. which is the biggest thing. So Vulture has this thing in his passive, which is not a Vulture video by any means, but there you go. Fill speed bar by 10%, plus 10% per speed bar per hero enemy. Now, Scorpion is a villain, so it'll lower the amount he's getting, but this should still make him quicker than most of them. If this character has 2 Insidious 6 allies, fill speed bar for Shocker, and all Insidious 6 allies by 10%. This can also happen in War Offense as well. So you could use like 2 of the other characters that aren't, Superior Spider-Man and Hobgoblin, right? With Green Goblin Classic and Lizard if you want. Like, it's just going to make it super easy. They have 2 Superior 6 allies, and any enemies have speed up, which is what Spider-Man Big Time has. He applies speed up to himself and all his Sinister 6 allies. On offense, clear speed up from all enemies and apply slow for like it's so easy. I think Scorpion does not bring Safeguard to the team or anything that would make it harder to do these things. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if they fully really understood this part of it, because they're still gonna like it's gonna be even easier now that Vulture's had a stat buff. He's just gonna mess them up. But that's just me. That's probably what I'll do, is I'll just keep my Sinister 6 on the offense so that I can use them how I want over there. That's my plans for that. Now, as far as leveling up characters, right? I put out my video yesterday, so make sure that you don't do this. Well, I mean, it's going to start later on today, right? So I guess you can do that. So starting today, you can level your Vulture or Shocker. Or Scorpion if you unlock them, but please think about this. I mean, if you're going to spend money, that's fine. But if you're spending cores, please think about that and wait until the weekend when the leaderboard is active. So there's actually, it's not as much stuff as the Azazel one or the mutant one. There was more stuff there, right? The Diamond Orbs. 500, 600, 700, 1100, 12, 13, 17, 18. It's 2 G20 orbs. So it's not that much, actually. It's kind of sad. And I think that, yeah, you just need to level 1 character to 105. What I would consider, though, is just like holding off, because they'll probably do a second one. I think they did 2 mutant ones. So just to be aware of what's going on with regards to that. And finally, we'll just jump back in here. The reason for that, obviously, is the Throne of Shadows leaderboard. That's going to be the Knull Diamond event later on this week, starting on September 4th, which is going to be in 2 days, right on Thursday. And I don't know how long this is going to be, but I do think this is going to be at least a 7-day leaderboard. It could be more, because it does say earn X cells from the Danger Room, and we currently have that running right now. This is running for another 5 days. Now, now that I think about it, what's kind of fucked up is that X cells are still in the milestone. So what if you didn't do the Danger Room and you waited till the very end? Are you going to have an additional 2,000, whatever the hell this is, all this counting up, additional points than other people because you didn't wait to do your Danger Room? I think that they're going to re-release Danger Room again, but they can't just reset and refresh the milestones. They would have to close this down, and this is going to be running over the other event. So, and there's X cells in the leaderboard here, which will also go towards the Knull event. So I'm actually thoroughly confused as to how they're going to square some circles here, at least on the milestone rewards. I get the ranking, everyone's going to get that. It's just super weird. They're going to have to relaunch another, or is this really going to be the only input like for those couple of days in the Knull leaderboard? There's a lot of questions here, and I feel like people are getting screwed for doing this early if that's the case. So I hope that they think about that. Also, there's going to be these Scorpion Diamond Orb fragments, which might be from some events next week, but mainly, spending power cores, right? So this is going to be starting on Thursday. So if you are going to core, or if you've been thinking about coring for Scorpion, then please wait to do so for Thursday or when this event starts, so that you can get a double dip in for unlocking Scorpion. You're also going to get some additional milestone points for raiding with, why did I highlight that? Play any battle with Scorpion. So over here, right? Even just the base version of Scorpion. So you're going to get some points for that as well. So if you are trying to chase your Knull diamonds, that would be the best time to do that. Make sure you save your power cores. But as far as this event goes and what I think about Scorpion in general, if you're thinking about it from a raid context, there really is no rush to do that, because the current at least unless they're going to change this when they unlock the Omega version of the Annihilation Rays, there's currently no reason to unlock him early. I don't think that using on Infestation is going to make that much of a difference. And until we get Hobgoblin and Superior Spider-Man, I don't think from the Crucible side of things it's going to matter that much. I don't know what he's going to do, you know, in terms of uplifting changing the meta really at this point. So I would only do it if you're going in on the Knull leaderboard. If you're not doing this at all, I would probably wait for some of the other characters to come out who are probably much better candidates for spending your power core. So again, only if you're into the Knull diamond. Superior Spider-Man actually looks to be the best character of the team. He has the support, but he's got like a crazy kit, honestly. And so if I was gonna like try to put any more stars on a character, it would definitely be this guy. We'll talk more about him when it's relevant, though. And Phantom Rider. Well, apparently there was an early embargo on the secret warriors, and this team was a load of dog shit. Apparently, they couldn't actually kill any of the more meta teams. Fantastic Four, they lost to Fantastic Four. They lost to some most of the Mythics, including Mephisto, which I thought he was countering. Things like that. So yeah, I'm not probably building Secret Warriors after seeing that unless they make some adjustments to this team. But that was just some early footage of a accidental embargo release by one of the envoys there. So that's going to be it for now, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.